start. So, basic framing to this debate. On side opposition today, we're going to prove to you that this proposal basically causes dehumanization of the women that will serve as surrogates, and we think that obviously that is a horrible thing to do, and we oppose that. I'm going to have 2 points today. First of all, I'm going to show you why this is not an acceptable contract between the parents and the surrogate mother, because there is no opt-out in this situation. Second of all, I'm going to talk about how the suffering and the pain that the woman goes through this process is unproportionate and humiliating, and does not justify no matter how many you give her in the end or something like that. Before that, 2 points of rebuttal. So, first argument we heard is a very nice explanation of why it is important to people to have kids. 3 answers to that. First of all, the fact that a lot of people want to have kids and that it is important to them and they feel they really need to leave something in the world does not make it a right. If you want to leave something in the world, write a book, be a teacher, there are many, many options, okay? More than that, even if we accept that there is a right to be a parent, okay, to have a kid, that doesn't mean that you have a right for a biological kid of your own. The fact that you have a biological need to spread your semen and have biological kids, no, does not mean that you can poke a hole in the condom, for example, if your wife or your partner does not want to have a baby. Are you willing to justify that because of a biological need? I'm guessing not. Third answer. All of this, even if this is a right or whatever, it doesn't matter the moment we prove to you that we are causing the dehumanization of women, that we are hurting women's rights, and that's what we're going to show you in this debate, and therefore this concept of right falls down. Second point that we heard was about who is it hard today to adopt, and how would this affect? We heard that minorities have a hard time to adopt, gay people, etc. Well, that sounds like a very nice case to changing the rules of adoption in a country. You want to deal with that? Please go ahead and do. That does not mean we need to allow surrogate mothers. And the last small point about that it will happen anyway, we just want to give them good conditions. Well, that's kind of like arguing that, you know what, people do drugs when they're aboard and stuff like that, so why not just let them bring them back in? The same way you do not allow that, we have no problem making a law that says you cannot come back into our country with a baby that you bought a human's humanity to get it. So, same applies here. Moving on to my first point, not right now, Vishai. No opting out. What does this mean? In any basic, in any basic legal agreement between an employee and an employer, which is basically the contract you're talking about between the parents who want this baby and the woman who is going to, you know, have it for them. This is a financial contract. We give you something, you give us something in return. The basis, okay, the whole logic behind a business agreement is the fact that each side has the chance to opt out and to say at some point, I don't want to be part of this anymore. I want to leave. I want to leave. This is no longer for me. Once you take this option away, in the situation of an employer and an employee, no, it's actually a job that is like slavery. Why is that? Because you actually sell your entire life, your entire being, your entire physical condition, whatever it is you are doing, to be for 9 months, 24/7 in the ruling of these future parents-to-be. What does that mean? That means they have the autonomy to decide on your body. Meaning, what exactly is this woman going to eat? What kind of physical exams is she going to go through? Okay? What should her hobbies and her everyday life look like? Because obviously, parents don't want this woman to smoke in the process while she is pregnant and stuff like that. Now, there might be nice parents who will be considerate of the woman carrying their child, but what we're saying is that it's more likely that parents, because of the anxiety for their children, their future children, and because that they're simply used to it, that when they pay money for something, they can demand whatever they want to get the best service they want. They will try to rule and manage this woman's life. And the thing is that unless, like you said, there is some sort of health risk of her health, she cannot opt out. She cannot just go and say, oh, screw it, I'm going to have an abortion, kill this baby, or what, or whatever. Therefore, no opting out means like slavery. We do not accept slavery in our society. society, I'll take closing.
In dark places like the Netherlands, where prostitution is legal, we do see that not all poor people become prostitutions. Why is that?
Well, Ed is going to discuss further on about poor people, and the fact that some don't choose doesn't mean that there are enough that do choose, and we think that that is bad enough, and I really don't understand why you chose to ask that question. No, let's move on about the unproportionate suffering, because there is no other job that demands this kind of physical suffering, like maternity, like labor, in terms of money, without some for money. What do I mean? Well, it seems to me like nobody on the judges panel has been pregnant so far, but probably you know people that were, okay? It's a lot of health issue, meanings having hemorrhoids, meanings not sleeping good at night, meaning swelling up, having heartache, meaning sickness and throwing up every 2 hours and stuff like that. That is physical pain. More than that, the labor itself, it means losing blood, it means stitches in very intimate places, it means a trauma that changes your whole body. And this is psychological damage as well for the women, because in regular pregnancy, at least you get the compensation of self-fulfillment, because now I have my child, which is what I wanted, this is how I fulfill myself. But when you have to give this child away at the end, after going through all this trauma, we are saying this is too much. This is completely turning the woman into a tool. We are saying this is humiliating. We are saying this hurts her integrity as a human being, and this is the basic value of human beings, and we are not okay with that. We are saying that we are not okay with putting women in this situation of being a tool for other people, for other people's self-fulfillment. They do not have them. So to conclude our case, we're saying that surrogacy is basically dehumanization. When it comes to being for money, it's dehumanization of the women. She is selling herself like to slavery. This is something unacceptable. Please oppose. Thank you.